All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. There is no beauty without some strangeness. The believer is happy, the doubter is wise. Those who gossip with you will gossip about you. Years of love have been forgotten in the hatred of a minute. A lie travels round the world while the truth is putting her boots on. A wise man hears one word and understands two. I remained too much inside my head and ended up losing my mind. If a man deceives me once, shame on him. If he deceives me twice, shame on me. All suffering originates from craving, from attachment, from desire. Happiness is not to be found in knowledge, but in the acquisition of knowledge. The past is a pebble in my shoe. They who dream by day are cognizant of many things which escape those who dream only by night. False hope is nicer than no hope at all. That pleasure which is at once the most pure, the most elevating, and the most intense is derived from the contemplation of the beautiful. If a poem hasn't ripped apart your soul, you haven't experienced poetry. The eye, like a shattered mirror, multiplies the images of sorrow. There are some secrets which do not permit themselves to be told. The world is a great ocean upon which we encounter more tempestuous storms than calms. If you run out of ideas, follow the road. You'll get there. Every poem should remind the reader that they're gonna die. To observe attentively is to remember distinctly. Art is to look at, not to criticize. I was never really insane, except upon occasions when my heart was touched. There is no exquisite beauty without some strangeness in the proportion. Believe only half of what you see and nothing that you hear. Never to suffer would never to have been blessed. Words have no power to impress the mind without the exquisite horror of their reality. All religion, my friend, is simply evolved out of fraud, fear, greed, imagination, and poetry. If you wish to forget anything on the spot, make a note that this thing is to be remembered. The best things in life make you sweaty. I have no faith in human perfectibility. I think that human exertion will have no appreciable effect upon humanity. Man is now only more active, not more happy, nor more wise than he was 6,000 years ago. Beauty of whatever kind in its supreme development invariably excites the sensitive soul to tears. Invisible things are the only realities. Science has not yet taught us if madness is or is not the sublimity of the intelligence. The true genius shudders at incompleteness, imperfection, and usually prefers silence to saying the something which is not everything that should be said. Deep into the darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. There are some secrets which do not permit themselves to be told. I dread the events of the future, not in themselves, but in their results. That which you mistake for madness is but an over-acuteness of the senses. I intend to put up with nothing that I can put down. There are chords in the hearts of the most reckless which cannot be touched without emotion. Even in the grave, all is not lost. Convinced myself, I seek not to convince. Men have called me mad, but the question is not yet settled, whether madness is or is not the loftiest intelligence. Stupidity is a talent for misconception. To die laughing must be the most glorious of all glorious deaths. True, nervous, very, very dreadfully nervous I had been and am, but why will I say that I am mad? The disease had sharpened my senses, not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all was the sense of hearing acute. Experience has shown, and a true philosophy will always show, that a vast, perhaps the larger portion of truth arises from the seemingly irrelevant. The 99 are with dreams, content, but the hope of the world made new is the 100th man who is grimly bent on making those dreams come true. Mysteries force a man to think, and so injure his health. Even with the utterly lost, to whom life and death are equally jests, there are matters of which no jest can be made. A man's grammar, like Caesar's wife, should not only be pure, but above suspicion of impurity. The idea of God, infinity, or spirit stands for the possible attempt at an impossible conception. When indeed men speak of beauty, they mean precisely not a quality as is supposed, but an effect. They refer, in short, just to that intense and pure elevation of soul, not of intellect or of heart.